The Nerlin Nerds podcast is brought to you by What Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. Pulpery Media presents Nerlin Nerds with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the pop culture topics that interest us and those minor details that irritate us.
I mean, hate's a strong word, okay? I don't hate people.
You're annoyed.
Right. What really annoys me is when people go out of their way to shit on something. Like, I mean, I get being annoyed because you played the game and you have some nitpicks. We've had nitpicks. But to, like, blatantly just be like, I'm not watching that shit no more. Fuck this.
Or saying, like the whole season is trash.
Right.
And because... And it's usually
and it was
because
the
it's
worst
something
cliffhanger ever. Like,
yeah.
I,
and it's always something stupid. It's like, oh, she doesn't look like Ellie.
right. But that's not Abby.
Yeah.
She's in Money in the Bank. Thank God.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yes. You know, it's like that. But what I was going to say offline, and I saved it, is I hope they don't lose viewers to where it looks like it's a failure next season.
Nah. Well, you know, you have...
And I know Game of Thrones went through its ebbs and flows. Sopranos never did, and neither did Deadwood.
No, I mean...
Like, there was, you know, there's never a season where I went, I could have done without that. But Deadwood was only like a couple of seasons.
It's only 3.
Yeah.
No, it's... So with this, it's like, you're talking about the built-in audience, the gamers, and
Us.
And you want to, and again, it's this thing of like, how have these people become so spoiled so quickly?
Right.
In that, you know, it used to be video game adaptations were fucking horrendous.
I was going to make that point too.
And now, I mean, and we're not talking about like this has been going on for like a decade. Like, no. It's in the last 3 years we've finally gotten good adaptations of video games.
Correct. People forget. Never mind. I'm not going there.
Yeah, or like look at the Assassin's Creed movie.
Well, I was just
Mortal
gonna say
Kombat.
I was going to say Hitman.
Yeah.
That movie was pretty bad. Mortal Kombat. Although the newest Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah.
Not too bad. But again, last 3 years.
Yeah.
They figured it out.
Right.
Is it Greg Mazan or Gus?
No, it's Doug.
Not even a G?
No. No, you're right. I think it might be Greg.
Anyways, he said that this was going to be his last video game adaptation, which is a fucking shame.
Well, but I mean...
You get it. I get the headache.
Yeah. But, you know, at the same time, I mean, I guarantee you he's got other stories. I mean, the dude...
Just like Neil Druckmann's got stories to tell, whether it's... He's going to be like Alex Garland is, where he could just write over different mediums and it just all makes perfect sense.
Druckmann's, they're finishing up that, like, Naughty Dog's, like, cyberpunk thing.
Is that the space?
Yeah.
That looks like Uncharted, but in space?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. That's going to be dope.
Yeah, it should be.
Right. Yeah, because it's, the story's going to be there.
Yeah. And then I'm sure, you know, at some point, if the mood strikes him, he might come back and try and do a part 3 for Last of Us, but...
I don't know if it's necessary.
I don't think it is either.
Why would it be necessary? One of them freaks out and has a nightmare and then goes after the other one again? Like, that's all it could be.
No, or... Yeah, it would have to fall in line with what they were like. Part 1 is about love. Part 2 is about hate or vengeance. So if there's like a third, you know, I mean, maybe 3 would be acceptance, but that's not a good video game.
No, when I'm going to walk around and like stare at the sky.
Go to therapy.
Read poetry and shit. I don't want to fucking do that.
But
God.
I just, the problem I have, with these people coming out and talking about how it's trash, and you're going like they're doing 1/3 of the second video game.
Right.
We're not
and
even
they're
into
adding in
yeah.
stuff that makes
Yeah, it makes it more compelling.
that, and it's just finishing the picture. More puzzle pieces. Like I said it before, we didn't have certain characters' backstories, and
Yeah.
now we do. And then another thing that they hate is Ellie and why can't I think of her name? Mina.
Yeah, or Nina. Is it Nina?
Nina.
Yeah.
Like they've even changed their dynamic
Right.
in the TV show as opposed to the game. And for me personally, all for the like I love it.
Well,
The episode in season 1
and I think
with
yeah.
why can't I remember his name? Fuck.
Give me a better description.
The gay guys.
And
In season 1.
fuck you.
Yep. That.
Yeah.
None of that was in the game. You know what that part was in the game? It was a note.
Right.
That
And you
had to
and you found
find.
his hanging body. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and of course everybody loved that episode. That episode got like 8
Yes.
Emmy nominations.
One episode.
Yeah.
They have not changed that formula.
No, but the
museum episode this year was like that episode.
and the other thing is that yeah, a video game like a character like Ellie can be badass from point A to point Z.
Right.
But in a television show, and like you pointed out, like her dynamic has switched, in that you actually get to see Ellie like be a girl for
Right.
a little bit.
Submissive for a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
But
as,
that's
as
because
an
yeah,
adult,
you're not-
I'm going to say an
yeah.
adult, but not as a child.
Right.
As a seasoned 16, 17-year-old.
Because they can't have a show where you're just constantly clearing areas.
She's not the fucking Terminator.
Right. I mean, that's what the game is. Like you're clearing one area and then another
Like,
area.
the video games, right?
Yeah.
So that's how
Yeah.
they're set up. The scene where takes her shirt off and Nina's just like washing her back.
Yeah.
It's like, oh God, you have been through something.
Dina.
Dina.
Yeah.
Okay. We could have gone through the alphabet and
Yeah.
eventually gotten there. Just scenes like that. This guy's everywhere. Is that Taylor Klisch?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's everywhere. He's awesome. So I like it. You know what? Like, just take the ride, man.
Yeah. I mean, we're just
Don't
yeah,
hate watch it and then go online and shit on everything.
well,
And I'm talking even like seasoned publications.
but we've also
Video game magazines that are now on that have a website. I'm not going to say IGN because they're pretty okay.
let's
But,
also not pretend like as a society we haven't grown up since middle school and high school, right? Like because there's that we were probably that person to somebody else, but there was always either a friend or somebody you knew in school, and it's like, oh, I really love this. That fucking sucks.
every concert
Yeah.
or CD ever, there was always that one kid who's like, "Fuck you go to that?
Yeah.
Why you listening to that shit?"
Yeah. I
Fucking
don't get
stupid.
it. It's stupid.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. And so that now you just have people who either get follows or likes, or they get an actual job because that's what they do. If the culture likes it, they're gonna shit on it.
Yeah, that's just a hate watching
Yeah.
and clickbait.
I mean, it's the same people, and not to say like this is on the same level, but it's the same people who just shit on Taylor Swift for any and everything that she does.
Right.
And you're going like, why would you hate on somebody that generates $5 billion in
To the
economic
global economy.
Right.
Not just this country, globally.
One singular person does that.
One human being.
Yeah.
One. Her name takes a
She's stupid.
yeah, well, fuck you. You're
Yeah.
jealous.
Right.
And my biggest thing is, I said it a minute ago, like, I don't want HBO or the producers or any of that to be like willing to just, okay,
Nah,
we're
well-
not getting the views, it's not getting the traction anymore.
I'll say this: if HBO saw Westworld out,
Oh yeah, facts. Because I
Then-
stopped watching Westworld, and you
Yeah.
know me, I'm willing to ride things out.
Right. And that got off the rails.
After
Yeah.
season 2, right? It went 4.
Yeah, once dude from Breaking Bad showed up, it was like, wait, what?
Yeah. That was episode. I mean, that was season 3.
Yeah.
I didn't get there.
So if they're willing to do that, then they're going to be able to do. One of my Alexas is going on.
Oh,
If
thought it was a
if they're
pause.
willing to do that, then we've already established like you have at least 1 to 2 more seasons.
I think you got
of
2
this.
more seasons.
Yeah.
Next season is Abby, especially because they're only doing 7 episodes.
Yeah.
7, 8. I thought they were going into like the 12 territory.
Nah.
So
Again, I like this where you might have like next season might be like 6 or 7 episodes,
Right.
And then the final season will be like a 12 when you finally get.
Or if you're going to do 6 or 7, you make them like they did with Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But you don't need as big of a budget.
Yeah,
You make them all 120 minutes, give or take.
yeah,
Or not 120 minutes, that's way too long. 90 minutes, give
Yeah.
or take, an episode. Instead
But-
of 50.
I just hate the shit when they harp on an actress for like these gremlins who are talking about Bella Ramsey's like she's not built the same or she's too mannish or she's not this, she's
When-
too fat or blah blah blah.
When
and,
when they have her in badass costume,
yeah,
like when she was beating up that chick, I'm
Yeah.
like badass, like she looks legitimately like a badass.
yeah,
But then they also put her in the role, the same thing, where she's stripped away
Wait.
figuratively and literally. And
I
you
say video game. I think you maybe got there was the flashback museum scene, and there was after her and Dina hooked up in the weed place.
correct.
And
Where she
like-
was smitten for.
So like there's like 2 parts of the video game where she's actually happy.
And then the other one was a DLC,
Yeah,
and all the DLC was explaining how she got bit.
right.
But because she was in love.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that was in season 1.
correct.
So
They did that.
yeah, it's like, but in a TV show, you can't just have a brooding, sassy britches the whole time.
Oh,
So
Jon Snow had fun, and he was a salty man. I mean, in all fairness, he
he did.
deserved to be salty.
Yeah, he did die and come back to life.
Right. Fucked his sister or whatever.
All right. Let
All
me
right,
see if I
so
can do.
we called this.
Yeah. Fuck it.
we-
We'll just do the whole thing on
Yeah,
this.
I don't give a fuck. We called it at the beginning of season 2 that this had to end
At the aquarium.
at the aquarium.
Yeah.
Yep. And when she killed, like that whole murdering the pregnant chick and
Owen.
Owen,
Yeah.
that played out differently. And I love that they put Tommy there.
Yeah.
Because at first he wasn't. Like
No.
she stumbles in. I'm trying to remember now. Maybe I'm getting them confused.
Don't you make it like all the way to the sailboat when you kill Owen?
No, what happens is in the video game, she kills Owen. She shoots him because he makes a move, and then the pregnant girl comes at her and she stabs her in the throat or something.
Yeah.
But then you hear a scream, and that's when she runs down to where Abby has Tommy.
Yeah.
This one, she kills the 2 people. Tommy's there, and a couple of other things happen.
Well, remember the pregnant girl asked her to cut the baby out of her.
They added that for effect for the TV show.
Yeah.
And she kept going, "You're doing great. Yep, right there. You're doing great," and then died.
Yeah. That was fucking intense.
The mind fuck, right?
Yeah.
Look at this asshole. Fucking nuts. So yeah.
The following segment has been brought to you by Whatever Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. The Nerla Nerds podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion, marketing by Brock Ryder, graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion, Music by the Heisenberg Compensators.